a construction business that has played a role in almost every major building project in our area. After 25 years in business, Sands Drywall, which also does the steel stud framings of buildings, is well known in several states. But what may not be so well known is the troubled background of its founder and how Greg Sands has made it his mission to help others in the way he was helped during one of the lowest points of his life. As Angela Kennecke reports in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND, while the company may appear to be in the business of framing buildings and putting up walls, it's really just a front for breaking down barriers when it comes to addiction.
Studies show the construction industry employs more workers with substance use disorders than any other profession. The man at the helm of one company sees it firsthand.
I remember one of my bosses saying to me, you know, Greg, you're one of the best drywall finishers I've ever met in my life, and none of that matters if you don't make it to work on Monday. And I've heard that sentence in my head on quite a few Mondays when my guys haven't made it to work.
Greg Sands started Sands Drywall 25 years ago with just one pickup truck.
The goal I had and the dream and vision I had was that I would someday have, you know, 5 employees with a coat that said Sands Drywall on it.
Now he has hundreds of workers in several states.
Everything has went beyond my wildest dream.
The Avera on Louise buildings are the latest projects that Sands Drywall has been working on. But take a quick drive around town and you'll see buildings all over that Sands Drywall has helped put up.
Those include the Pentagon, CNA Surety, the Hilton Garden Inn, Grand Falls Casino Resort, and Sanford Imaginetics. But this is more than a rags to riches story. Sands' adult life had a rocky start.
Coming from a broken home and a very tough childhood, when drugs are around, that's what you go to relieve the pain.
Sands started with marijuana as a teen before moving on to harder substances.
The drug of choice, if you will, was alcohol and cocaine, and they feed off of each other. You know, you can drink more if you're using cocaine and etc. So it's a vicious cycle.
In April of 1989, Sands was arrested in Aberdeen for cocaine distribution. He spent 2 years in prison.
I think that a person needs that wake-up call, and for me to be pulled out of the cycle of insanity that I was living in is what saved my life.
One of his first stops out of prison was the Glory House.
He was actually my very last counseling client I had before I took the executive director's position. Greg really had the motivation. He really had, and he was very smart, had really a great skill set.
Sands went from being a resident to president of the Glory House's board of directors. He's been a major contributor, and in 2008 he was instrumental in putting up the building that bears his name, Sands Freedom Center, a residential treatment center for women just released from prison.
I know that building saved somebody's life, and that is just such a rewarding feeling.
11 years after his sentence, Sands received a presidential pardon, and his past became public knowledge.
Fear just overcame me because I was concerned that would affect my business and my employees.
To his surprise, Sands received dozens of messages of support and people asking him to help their loved ones battling addiction.
I went and tried to help, you know, all of them.
Sands has also been a driving force behind the new Avera Addiction Care Center, which will open this fall.
My philosophy is that we want to do the most good for the most people in our area right here, because right here we have a crisis. We have a real problem here. We have people that are dying and living in the wrath of addiction. It's ruining and ripping apart families, and right here we need help.
While Sands has put his money, time, and efforts into getting people back on their feet in the community, he practices the same philosophy with his employees.
He's a great person to look up to, there's no doubt about that.
Terry Curl has been working for Sands Drywall for more than 20 years, but it's a miracle he's still here on the job at all.
He'll say that I've been on the thinnest ice out of everybody without getting fired.
Curl has struggled off and on with addiction issues.
We got pulled over in actually a Sands Drywall vehicle, and I had a considerable amount of marijuana on me, and almost lost my job. Luckily, Greg stuck behind me. You know, I got help.
My role was being there for him when he was on his knees and when he was hopeless. Because what addiction does is makes you hopeless.
Eventually, Curl rose to the level of supervisor.
Me hiring and firing and helping, you know, guys do that, and seeing him as a role model and how to react to different, you know, addictions and whatnot, and not just firing guys on the spot. I mean, I gave many guys chances for Sands Drywall.
They're all success stories, Angela. You know, it's because when the seed is planted and the person starts heading in the right direction, even if they relapse, in the back of their head, they have seen and experienced a better way of life.
Sands' ability to put his employees first has created a culture of loyalty, and ultimately, the reward is a successful business.
I know that there's hope for every addict because no one thought that I would ever be able to stop. No one thought that I would not be reincarcerated again. No one thought that I could make it through probation without violating. They were all wrong. I didn't think I could do it. I was wrong.
And being wrong has been the best thing for so many people in his company and his community. With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Angela Kennecke.
Greg and Pam Sands are also committed to feeding the hungry in our community. They've given away hundreds of turkeys at Thanksgiving through Feeding South Dakota. Sports.